This is going to be an extremely transformative transit that is all about relationships, money, finances, and contracts also are going to come up during this time as well. Hello and welcome to Lilith Astrology. My name is Adam Asise, and I am the professional astrologer, tarot reader, and creator of LilithAstrology.com. Today, we are going to go over the upcoming Venus retrograde in Aries and in Pisces. So let's dive into all the details. In this video, I'm going to go over the general transit, what it entails, what Venus retrograde means. We're going to go over which zodiac signs this is going to affect the most. And we are also going to go over what's in store for each of the 12 rising signs. So yes, I implore all of you to make sure you know your rising sign. I know you need your birth time for that. If you don't have your birth time, you also can watch for your sun sign, and that depends on your birthday. So watch for your rising sign or your sun sign. So stick around towards the end of this video. We're going to get into that. Let's dive in. Venus retrograde occurs in the sky every 18 months. So this isn't a time period that we deal with every single year or even a few times a year like we do with Mercury retrograde, because that's a faster moving planet. With Venus, it takes a longer time for Venus to move into its retrograde period. So every 18 months, we experience Venus retrograde. And also, every 8 years, we experience the same Venus retrograde period. And this is also what we call the 5 petals of Venus. So Venus, as it's moving through the sky, its apparent path, as seen from Earth, can take the form of a 5-pointed star pattern. And this repeats every 8 years. This is an ancient finding. Ancient astrologers took a look at Venus in the sky and saw that Venus was creating this 5-petal pattern. It's like Venus's flower, right? The goddess, Aphrodite. Venus's orbit traces a close to perfect 5-pointed star in the sky during this 8-year period. So the Venus retrograde that we are about to experience also took place around March and April 2017. So think back 8 years ago, and what were some of the themes around then? What relationship were you in? What breakup were you experiencing? What financial changes were you experiencing? How did this work out for you? Think about it. If you want to pause the video and come back, think about that. So now we are entering into 2025's version of this same Venus retrograde period. And this starts on March 1st and will run up until April 12th. So this is going to be for about a month and a half. And I do want to add that we also have a shadow period, which we're in right now before we get into Venus retrograde. And that will conclude May 16th. So this is quite some time that Venus will be moving backwards. So now let's go over who Venus is. Venus is the goddess of love. Venus is the ruler of romance, art, creativity, money, sensuality. These are all the good things in life. Venus rules over women. Venus rules over femininity. You know what they say, men are from Mars, women are from Venus. That statement comes from astrology, literally, because Venus also represents the feminine in the world. And the transits of Venus affects the feminine heavily. So when we are in our Venus retrograde, women, you may be experiencing some challenges during this. We just got out of Mars retrograde. So we have finally concluded that. We are still in the shadow period of that, but now it's time for Venus's turn to turn retrograde. So of course, I have to pull out the Venus card from my Oracle card deck, the Black Moon Lilith Cosmic Alchemy Oracle, and this is based off of that famous painting of Venus. And of course, I had to make her Lilith. I had to make her dark feminine. It's the Black Moon Lilith Cosmic Alchemy Oracle. But this is Venus's time to move backwards. The goddess of love, the goddess of beauty, femininity, money, all things good in life. And as Venus moves across the sky, she does bear gifts in the zodiac sign she is in. She is a benefic planet alongside Jupiter as well. And you know what's so patriarchal is they called her the lesser benefic, but Venus transits can be very powerful and very beneficial. So even though Venus will be retrograde, any challenges that come up, any roadblocks that come up, they're actually for your highest good. They're actually for your benefit. And Venus will still bring some gifts after her retrograde period, after you've had that period of reflection, after you've had that period to really redo and take a look at that area of life that she's moving through. Venus also rules over justice, harmony, equality, balance. So we may also collectively see more attacks on women's rights, attacks on the right to choose, attacks on women financially during this time, on our rights through the judicial system, which we have already started to see. And we're also heading into Black Moon Lilith in Scorpio. That's for another video. But this Venus retrograde, we may start to see more and more attacks on women's autonomy and sovereignty, and not only in the United States, but this is a rise globally of fascism and the limiting of people's rights. So we may start to see that during Venus retrograde as well too. So what are some of the key themes in your own life that you'll start to see during this Venus retrograde period? So first off, Venus rules love. So relationships are on deck. Your love life is on deck. So past lovers and relationships can come back around for resolution. If you are in a relationship or you're married, you may have some past issues resurface, some conflict. Some of you may decide to end relationships that are no longer in alignment, while some of you may deepen your relationship depending on your particular situation and what issues arise for you. So definitely be prepared to rethink, restructure, renegotiate your relationship. And money may be involved in that as well too, financial conversations. Since Venus rules aesthetics, avoid plastic surgery, try to avoid new major beauty treatments, like injectables, Botox. I wouldn't recommend getting a new hairstylist or trying a new haircut or any serious fashion changes, fashion purchases, beauty purchases. It's not the worst thing in the world if you do it, but you may regret it after Venus turns direct. So I just like to tell my clients, be chill when it comes to all things aesthetics and beauty and, research, plan, think about what you want to buy or what you want to do to yourself or things that you want to tweak and change, and then do it as Venus turns direct. So I also mentioned finances. Some of you may be reviewing the details of your finances, money, and how you are spending your money. This can be if you're single or if you are in a relationship. Some of you may be renegotiating your pay at your job or in what you do. Some of you may be changing your prices if you own your own business and rethinking all of that as well too, reclaiming your self-worth. And this may feel like a time to redo, rethink, or completely change your creative vision if you work in creative industries like music, acting, fashion, design, beauty, art. This is a time where you are going to want to change all that. And some of you may have some hangups. Some of you may have some challenges with clients, some communication challenges around your creativity, and feel like people aren't working with you to get what you need to get done. Some of you may realize you're being underpaid and undervalued for the work that you bring to the world. So this is a big time of reclaiming your power, and it might feel uncomfortable. It may feel uncomfortable. So Venus will be in Aries for a part of this transit. And while Venus is in Aries, Aries rules over the self. It's a time for reflection of your needs in a relationship, what you desire in your relationship, what you are passionate about in your relationships and in your love life and in your creativity. So this is a big time of self-reflection and redos when it comes to yourself. This is the best thing you can do during a time like this is hold the mirror up to yourself to see what you need to transform in order for it to reverberate out to others around you. This is Venus in Aries. And then for part of the transit, Venus will be in Pisces. So Venus loves to be in Pisces. Venus is exalted in Pisces. Venus actually is in debility in the sign of Aries. It's in the opposite sign of which it rules. It rules over Libra. So Venus loves to be in Pisces. It's in its exaltation. It's not at home, but it actually thrives to be in such a romantic, creative zodiac sign. So some of you may realize that you've been romanticizing certain things around your love life and your relationships and your contracts, and maybe not seeing the forest for the trees. And during Venus retrograde in Pisces, you may call out some areas that are not true, are not real. Beware of scammers, beware of dating scammers, and also beware of your own finances. So apart from love and relationships, some of you may have some challenges around scammers. Like, don't fall for every email or every text that comes into your inbox. Make sure it's coming from your bank. Call up your bank, pick up the phone, call your bank, pick up the phone, call the person directly to make sure it's them. Because Venus retrograde in Pisces can truly bring out the like financial scammers. So it's time to see things clearly, right? This Venus retrograde, for the first part of the retrograde period, Venus will be in Aries. And for the second part, Venus will move back into Pisces. So from March 1st to March 26th, Venus will retrograde into Aries. And then from March 27th till April 12th, Venus will continue moving back into Pisces. And it'll turn direct on April 12th and then continue on back into Aries after a couple of weeks. So Venus in Aries in particular, Venus actually is uncomfortable in the sign of Aries. Venus rules over Aries' opposite sign, Libra, right? Like Venus and Libra go hand in hand. It's at home. But when Venus is in opposition, it can create some discomfort and it can create some less than favorable results in the area of life it's happening for you. And it's really going to push you towards self-reflection in your relationships. I think it's also important to be aware of. Thank you so much for joining my YouTube channel. Please, please, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and click the like button because this helps get my videos out to other people. And if you're interested in getting a private reading with me to know how Venus retrograde is going to affect you personally, head over to lilithastrology.com. You can check out all the links down in the description box. Kind of letting your anger and your emotions get in the way when you are dealing with conflicts in that realm financially. So it's important to, as much as you can, practice patience while Venus is in Aries. And then as we move back to Venus in Pisces, Venus is exalted in the sign of Pisces and loves to be there. But there can also be the need to over romanticize, not see things clearly, believe in illusions. And as a placement like this is turning retrograde, some of those illusions and the over romanticization is revealed. So definitely want to note that. So which zodiac signs will this Venus retrograde period affect the most? So with every Venus retrograde, I always say Libra and Taurus, you tend to feel Venus retrogrades more than other zodiac signs simply because this is your planetary ruler. So it's extremely important to you. It's extremely important to your chart. So if you are a Venus ruled person, if you've got Libra rising, Taurus rising, sun, moon, making sure you're tracking these Venus retrogrades every 18 months is super important for you. Other than that, Aries and Pisces placements, especially if you've got sun, moon rising in either of those signs, or if you've got Venus, even Mars, you're going to feel this particular period more than other zodiac signs. So those are the 4 signs that are going to feel this the most. So now let's go into each of the rising signs. Remember, you can also watch for your sun sign and what you can expect. Aries, as I said, you are one of the zodiac signs that will feel this the most because Venus retrograde will spend some time in your zodiac sign. So this is bringing forth major self-reflection around your love life, your relationships, your finances, and how you show up in the world. It is time for you to start taking the lead. Start standing up for what you believe in. Start being passionate about what it is that you want to bring to the world when it comes to your gifts, your talents, and your work, because you will be rewarded for it as Venus turns direct. And this also will spend some time in the sign of Pisces. And this is bringing up some of your subconscious fears, some of the subconscious fears you may have around the depth of your emotions, around how you show up in the world. Some of you may have been afraid to allow that Aries leader, fiery energy to shine through. And I think there might also be some opportunities from the past, some financial opportunities, some work opportunities, creative opportunities that are going to come and catapult you into the forefront to make you stand on your own. Taurus, this is going to start off as a very subconscious shift for you. Of course, you are a Venusian ruled sign, so Venus retrogrades can affect you more than other zodiac signs. This is your planetary ruler. And as Venus moves back into Aries, this is going to activate your subconscious mind. This is also going to activate some hidden enemies. This can be around friends because as Venus moves into Pisces, that's also going to activate your friendships, your network, and the people you surround yourself with. So collectively, Taurus, some of you may be cutting some people off, changing who you associate yourself with, finding out some people you thought were for you are actually not really for you. Some of you may find out someone has been taking money or gypping you out of the financial compensation that you deserve. So this is a big wake-up call for you, Taurus, when it comes to your friendships and who you can trust. And some of you may also have some spiritual growth around all of this and really reclaim your worth and your power and your autonomy. Gemini, Venus retrograde is coming for your friendships, who you surround yourself with, your connections. If you do anything in communications or in social media, there may be some backlash against what you create and you are putting out. So Gemini, get ready for the need to self-reflect when it comes to who you surround yourself with. There may be some conflict when it comes to your community or your tribe, and you may decide the people that I've been surrounding myself with are no longer in alignment. And as Venus moves back into Pisces, your career is also going to be in the spotlight during Venus retrograde. So some of you may want to renegotiate your financial compensation, your prices, how you show up to the public in your career and your professional life. And some of you may even want to change the creative vision of your professional life, and you may have some conflict with those in your field. Cancer. This Venus retrograde is coming for your career, but don't stress. It's not the end of your career. Rather, this is a time for you to reclaim your worth and step into leadership. So if you've been afraid to step into leadership, if you feel like you have not been given the spotlight that you deserve, you feel like your public persona is kind of hidden, this Venus retrograde is going to catapult you into the spotlight. And it may bring some conflict from those around you. It may bring some conflict from the audience or people that consume your work or want to see you on that stage. But the thing to remember is with Aries energy, it's all about moving forth with leadership, with passion, and not caring about what anybody thinks of you. So get ready for a little bit of conflict in your career. Some of you may also want to renegotiate financially, and there may be some past opportunities. There may be some opportunities that you were passed up on, or you may have an old colleague or someone you've worked with in the past come back around with a financial offer. You also are going to travel, some of you Cancer placements, because Pisces, that's in your 9th house. This is higher learning, travel, long distance travel, foreign travel. So some of you may want to expand your horizons. Some of you may be going on a retreat during Venus retrograde, but this is a time where some of you may experience some spiritual growth, as well as some expansion from broadening your horizons. Some of you may also have the opportunity to teach, and some of you may completely change your spiritual beliefs, what religion you believe in, or what you practice spiritually or astrologically may be up for review during Venus retrograde. Leo. Travel is on the horizon for you. Some of you may be traveling for work, traveling for pleasure, traveling for passion. And this is going to come in and bring some new income in for you. This is having to do with your 9th house, which for most Leo risings is Aries. And I think some of you may feel passionate about broadening your horizons. And also, this is the 9th house of higher learning and spiritual growth and vision. So some of you may launch a book or start writing a book or receive a publishing opportunity. Some of you Leos may decide to share your vision and your idea and your teachings with a bigger audience. So this is a big time for teaching for you. And this could be from a past connection that comes along to bring that breakthrough. And we've also got the 8th house lit up for you, Leo. So this is all about revising your finances. If you are in a relationship with someone, if you're married, living together, and you share finances, there may be some conflict around that, and you are going to have to make some compromise and change and self-reflect. And for some of you as well, your partner could, this is money from others, your partner could receive a promotion or a financial breakthrough that's from the past, and that could be really positive for you. And some of you could also be renegotiating the money that you receive for your work and renegotiating things like mortgages, debts, and loans. Some of you may also find out about an inheritance that you didn't even know that you had. Virgo, your finances and your relationship are on deck. So as Venus retrograde starts, it'll be centered in your 8th house. This has to do with other people's money, shared resources, debts, loans, inheritances. So Venus is coming along to restructure, rehash, and kind of have you look at the details of this area of your life. There may be some conflict around finances, and some of you may be renegotiating things like a prenup or renegotiating a marriage. or renegotiating the terms of a contract if you're working for someone else, renegotiating, remortgaging, renegotiating some of the assets that you may have. And as Venus moves back into Pisces, this is going to activate your seventh house of love, relationships, and marriage. And this is also contracts, business partnerships. So a business partnership from the past could come back around for you, Virgo. And also some of you could be dealing with some challenges around your relationship, whether you're married or you're living with someone or you're in the dating phase. Some of you may kind of take a look at it and you're like, I need to self-reflect on what I truly want. This also can bring about breakups at times if you are not truly receiving what you desire and what you need. And some of you may find out some truths that aren't looking too great in the relationship. And maybe it's something that you've romanticized in the past. And now Venus is coming along to bring truth and clarity to your relationships. Libra, you are the other zodiac sign that this will affect the most, because Venus is your planetary ruler and Venus will be in opposition to you. Venus is in Aries, in your opposite sign. So Venus will be in your relationships, in your love life, in your bonds. So for my Libra placements, this is coming along to make you take a look at the details of your relationship. Make you take a look at what you're receiving, what you need. This is going to bring around some conflict if you are not receiving exactly what it is that you need. And you may also feel prompted to stand up for yourself, which can be challenging for Libras when your sign is all about harmony. So you may have some conflict and challenge in your relationships, but ultimately this is to improve things. This is to make them better. And if you're single, this also could have to do with business. Some business opportunities, some things from the past may be coming back around financially. A new contract could be coming back around from the past and giving you that nice boost financially. And we also have to note that Venus is moving back into Pisces in your area of health and daily routine. So some of you may want to change certain facets of your daily routine, your health, how you're moving, what you're eating, what you're consuming. And some of you may have some health challenges arise during Venus retrograde. Some of you may need to get a certain procedure. Remember, if you can, avoid aesthetic procedures, avoid things like plastic surgery if you can. Venus and Pisces in the 6th. But this could be a period where your health is placed in the spotlight. And also 6th house has to do with work. So some of you Libra placements could be reclaiming your worth when it comes to your work. And if you hire anyone or anyone works for you as well, you may hire someone from the past. Someone may be coming back around from a previous job or where you were before to come and support you in your role now. Scorpio, Venus retrograde is coming along to bring focus to your health. So any of you Scorpio placements, you may have some lingering health challenges that may come back around. Some of you may decide, I need to change certain things about what I'm eating or how I'm navigating my health, how I'm treating my physical body every day. So there may be some shifts in that area of your life. This also is going to affect your work. So some of you Scorpios may have some work opportunities come back around from the past. There may be a past colleague that may want to work with you again. Some of you may have an influential individual that comes back around, maybe an old manager to give you a nice break. And yeah, some of you are going to be working a lot over this Venus retrograde. Some of you may be rethinking a creative idea or a creative project and spending time on that every single day. And Venus retrograde is also going to back into your 5th house of creative expression and creativity. So get ready for some new ideas. Some of you may think of a new way to communicate about or market a creative project or idea. Some of you may have an old investment come back around to the present, and it might be something worth investing in now. And some of you may have some amazing creative ideas over the next month and kind of seek solitude to work on them. Fifth house also represents dating. So some of you single Scorpions could be out there dating, do what you got to do. But I think it's always important to have clear minds when you're going into dating during Venus retrograde. Because again, you could change your mind as Venus moves direct. And fertility also has to do with the fifth house. So some of you Scorpios, if you've been trying to conceive or something that you want to do, your fertility matters may be in the forefront. And some of you may get lucky during Venus retrograde or kind of seek alternative ways to do that. This also could be a time of change for children in your life. If you have children, fifth house has to do with offspring and children. Sagittarius. Yes, I put on a special outfit just for you. Just kidding. I actually recorded your horoscope on a different date because I realized, don't be offended, I realized I missed you guys. Sorry. What matters is that I remembered, and I'm adding your horoscope in. So, my Sagittarians, this Venus retrograde is going to take place in your fourth house of home and also your fifth house of creative expression. So, some of you Sagittarians may be completely changing your home. You may be moving more towards water, maybe rethinking, like, I need to be by the ocean, or I need to be in touch with water. I need to be in touch with that side of myself. That could be the physical manifestation. But for some of you, there may be some esoteric manifestations of this, and this may be a time of emotional healing, maybe around relationships and the patterns that you picked up in your family dynamic, because this is the fourth house of your roots. This is your lineage. This is also how you grew up and your emotional world. So some of you may realize, like, I may have picked up some patterns around the people that I'm attracting into my life because of a challenging relationship with the father or the mother, or the challenging family dynamic that you saw when you were growing up. And some of you may decide to completely renovate your home, change the structure of it, and completely rethink how it looks aesthetically. And as Venus backs up into Aries, of course, it's going to back up into Aries first, but as it moves into Aries, it is going to affect your fifth house. So this is your creative projects, ideas, your self-expression. This could also represent fertility and children. So some of you may have some new events come up in that realm, maybe in the lives of your children, if you have them, or maybe in your fertility and kind of dealing with your health around those matters, around the reproductive system. And the fifth house, you could also relaunch something. So if any of you have a business or an idea, or you've invested a lot of time into something, you could want to relaunch the aesthetics of it and completely change what it looks like to be more aligned with your passion and what you truly want to do. And for some of you, you could have a little passionate fling around the time of Venus retrograde. If you're not in a relationship, this is a time where you could kind of experiment and see. And after Venus turns direct, the relationship, let's not call it a relationship, the fling may be not what you thought they were. And you can move on, and it can be short-lived, but we all learn something from situations like that as well, right? And if you are in a relationship, some of you may revise what romance looks like, what dating looks like, and kind of start to rewrite that within your relationship, especially if you've been with the person for a long time. This also could be a time where you rethink what you're investing in. Fifth house also rules speculative investments. So any of you Sagittarians that play crypto or the stock market or invest in property, anything that involves kind of guessing where something is going to go, some of you really may rethink what you have been putting your time and your money into and completely change that. Or there may be some new opportunities to invest in something that comes back around from the past. Capricorn, Venus retrograde is coming to your home life. So get ready for renovation, some of you Capricorn placements. The need to restructure your home. Maybe you might need to sell your home or change the portfolio of properties that you own if you are lucky enough to do so. Some of you may have the opportunity to purchase a home or to rent a new home or to move. So get ready for some changes around your home life. This also has to do with family. So there may be some changes around family. Some of you may have some family move in with you, or you may feel like you might have to financially support or help family members during this time. And some of you may want to completely change the aesthetic of your home life and your home sanctuary. And Venus is going to continue moving back into Pisces, which is your third house of communication. This is also your neighbors and your locality. So, and siblings as well too. So some of you may have to kind of hash things out with a neighbor, maybe deal with certain things financially in your locality. Some of you may seek a creative outlet. Some of you have been wanting to share your creative ideas and your writing. And Venus is coming along to bring that motivation to do so. And some of you may also, you might feel like you're having to spend money that you didn't intend on spending when it comes to your home life. Maybe some of you might have a sibling that needs to borrow money, or there might be some clashes around finances around the home and family as well too. So definitely be aware of that. Aquarius, your third house of communication is going to be activated. So around this time, anything that you write, any ideas that you have, if you are deciding to monetize your ideas and your voice, you are going to lean into your passion and you are not going to care about what anybody thinks of you. There may also be some conflict during this time, verbal conflict that may be challenging. And this is also the house that rules over siblings and your local community. So some of you may have some quarrels with neighbors. Some of you may have like a lawsuit or be dealing with things financially with people that live close to you and your neighbors. And Venus is going to back into your money house as well, which is it's a good thing. Venus is moving into Pisces in your second house. So this could come along and bring some financial opportunities back from the past. So an old colleague, an old client could be coming back around and giving you the finances needed to share your idea, share your creative vision. And this is also a time where you could be taking a magnifying glass and looking at the details of your finances, of your money, dealing with debts and loans and completely changing all of that for the better. Pisces. So you are also one of the signs that is going to be the most affected by this. Venus is going to be in your zodiac sign, and it's going to really impact you in a powerful way. So as Venus retrograde starts off, it's going to be in your money house in Aries. So Pisces, you are really going to want to go full force ahead when it comes to your talents, what you do for work, and how you monetize your life, how you monetize yourself. And this Venus retrograde in Aries is like, come through with the value. So you also may want to renegotiate your worth and really fight for your value during this transit. And then Venus is going to continue moving back into your sign of Pisces. And this is also going to activate yourself and how you show up to others. So get ready for a burst of creative vision. Get ready for new ideas. And some of you are still going to have to reassert your value, reassert your creative ideas, your creative vision. Some of you may have a new job offer or a new opportunity to share your ideas with the world and be paid for it. And this is also a time where love and relationships are going to be at the forefront for you. I think Pisces, you can have the reputation of kind of like not standing up for yourself when it comes to relationships and kind of being very romantic and kind of like, yeah, you know, a little delulu. So Venus retrograde is coming along to kind of bring reality to you. So some of you may find out some information in a relationship that you may be in, and you may not like it. And some of you may stand up for yourself and want to move forward alone. If you are in a relationship and it's 6, it's because you were able to have those conversations and change it for the better. And if you are single, some of you could have some lovers from the past, people from the past come back around into your sphere. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next video.